Club, introduced once more by Gilbert Adair.
Voyage to Italy, which was made in 1953, is without question Rossellini's most problematic and controversial film. A complete failure, both critical and commercial, on its initial release. It was regarded by the director's former admirers as an abject betrayal of his near-realist principles. On the other hand, the young French critics of Cahiers du Cinéma, Truffaut, Godard, Romer, Rivette, who were all to become filmmakers themselves, championed it as not only his finest achievement, but as one of the supreme masterpieces of world cinema. The shoot itself was a famously troubled one, since neither Ingrid Bergman nor her co-star, George Sanders, understood what exactly Rossellini wanted of them. Indeed, the outwardly poised and urbane Sanders would apparently become so frustrated with the director's chaotically off-the-cuff methods that he once or twice burst into tears on the set. Never known as the most tactful of men, Rossellini took him aside and sought to console him. "What are you getting so depressed about?" he airily asked him. "At the worst, you'll have made one more bad film. Nothing worse than that can happen. We've all made good films and bad films, so we'll make another bad one." A curious way of reassuring an actor. But what was it precisely that they couldn't understand? Well, in the first place, there appeared not to be any plot. The situation of the film might be encapsulated as follows. A middle-class English couple in Naples on a business trip realized that their marriage is breaking up. And that, virtually, is all there is. What's more, when Rossellini plunges us into the narrative, their relationship is already clearly strained. Yet he chooses never to elucidate what it was that caused the strain. There is no flashback to their life in England, such as one might find in a typical well-made melodrama. No psychological prehistory, as it were, to explain the incomplete segment of their life to which we are made privy. It's almost as though we've come in the middle of the film and have to piece together their relationship from the stray fragments of information that drift our way as the plot unfolds. Yet when you think of it, such an unorthodox construction actually mirrors the way we come to know most people in real life. With the exception, of course, of childhood friends, we tend to come in the middle of most of our acquaintances' lives, and we don't invariably feel any compulsion to interrogate them on their pasts, which emerge little by little as we get to know them better. Similarly, in the film, it's less by the development of a conventional plot line than through the characters' interaction with landscape that the true nature of their relationship and their individual personalities is revealed to us. This approach is practically a cliché of the contemporary cinema, in the works of Antonioni or Wim Wenders, for example. But it was astonishingly innovatory at the time the film was made. To employ a term that was not yet in currency in 1953, Voyage to Italy might almost be described as a road movie. A road movie not merely in the sense that a lot of ground is covered in the narrative by car and on foot, but also in the way in which the Italian setting gradually becomes a participant in the drama. The numbers of pregnant women Catherine, played by Bergman, sees in the streets of Naples point up the childlessness of her own marriage. The local cult of dolce far niente, or the pleasure of doing nothing, is in contrast with the rather arid and soulless materialism of the English couple's existence. And Catherine's encounter with the stark physicality of some nude statues in the Museum of Naples, with the camera spinning ecstatically around them, underlines the absence of sensuality in her own relationship with her husband. As indeed does the magnificent scene in Pompeii, where they witness the unearthing of a pair of lovers who had been caught in a petrified embrace by the eruption of Vesuvius in AD 79, and who, in death, seem to have more true love and life in them than the protagonists of the film. For Catherine, therefore, and to a lesser extent her husband, the voyage to Italy is really a spiritual voyage, a journey towards self-knowledge. And as in Stromboli, a film to which this bears a striking resemblance, Rossellini ends with an epiphany, or if you prefer, a miracle. The last scene of Voyage to Italy has been endlessly debated over the years. Some, like myself, consider it a totally credible and intensely moving moment of pure cinema. Others remain quite unmoved. But since I doubt very seriously if anything I might have to say on the subject could influence your feelings either way, I think it best now to let the scene and the film speak for themselves.